Welcome back to another episode of the Business Hour. Today I'm joined by the Managing Director of MarketPlace Fresh Stephen Fanous.
How are you, Charles?
Good, thank you.
Good.
Thanks for joining us.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about your background and how you got to where you are now?
Yeah, sure. So I grew up in Dandenong South. Lived there all my life. My parents immigrated to Australia in the 1970s, and it's where I went to school, and that's where I grew up.
Yep. And then migrated from, what's your heritage?
My father's migrated from Egypt, and my mother from Syria.
Okay. And how did you get into MarketPlace?
Yeah, so I started working at the local fruit shop in Dandenong, and basically just went from there. And I started full time when I was 16 in the wholesale fruit and vegetable market.
Where's that?
That was in Footscray.
Okay.
It's currently in Epping,
Yep.
but I started in Footscray when I was 16.
And what were you doing there?
So what I was doing there was I was a labourer. I would load forklifts, I would stack pallets, and eventually I moved on to buying fresh produce.
Yep.
And that's how I started in MarketPlace Fresh.
Yep. Awesome. And how big is MarketPlace now? How many stores do you have?
MarketPlace Fresh has 10 stores currently.
Yep.
We're opening the 11th one next month. We currently employ 470 plus staff, and we're looking at moving nationally in the near future.
What are some of the challenges you faced in business?
Challenges in business. Probably one of them that comes to mind would be compliance. I think compliance is a big one. Just making sure you're up to date with compliance. We've made mistakes, and we've certainly learned from them. But I think with challenges comes lessons, and at the end of the day, you've got to be grateful for those lessons because it helps you develop.
And so, in terms of compliance, if you're talking to someone that's sort of looking to scale their business, because the regulations are obviously different from like a startup at home. I started at home, my business, so regulations are different there to when you have employees in a facility and different things like that. You need, there's all sorts of things you need to consider: public liability insurance, work cover, all that sort of thing. So, how do you ensure that you stay compliant, I guess, and
get the right advice?
Yep.
The right advice in specialised fields is
Yep.
really, really important. I think you can't be too diligent in business, and I think that's a very big one.
Just on that as well. So, if there's 3 things that you could say to someone that's looking to scale a small business, what would they be?
3 things. I would say stay the course, don't give up, and if you really want to grow, I think you need to adapt to the fact that you can't do everything yourself, and you need to invest in your people.
When did you make the decision to run for this position in local government?
Yeah, so I started thinking about it about a year ago, and I think people like me should donate their time if they've got the ability to. I think that's really important, and I like new challenges. I think challenges are good, and it helps us. It helps us develop ourselves.
With so much going on in your world, I mean, just being accountable for over 400 staff and the stores that you're looking after, and now putting this on your plate as well. How do you find the time to unwind, and what do you do to relax?
I enjoy spending time with my family. I get re-energized.
Do you work weekends?
I do.
Okay.
I do. I really do, and I enjoy it.
Yeah.
And I enjoy training. I enjoy CrossFit, boxing, and but definitely spending time with the family really does keep me going.
what are some of the gaps that you believe you'll be able to close if you're successful in getting this role? In terms of,
Jobs and dollars. Charles, we employ 470 plus employees. I'm a successful businessman, and being through all that, all the stresses of running a small business and to now running a larger business, I think I can definitely contribute my my knowledge in that area.
yeah. I think for the purposes of context as well, the way that Stephen and me actually met was I started a professional mixed martial arts league, Hex Fight Series, and Stephen, through MarketPlace, were a major sponsor. I think that talks to a lot of his generosity and him getting behind the community through MarketPlace, because that Hex released more fighters to the UFC over a 12-month period than any other promotion in the world, which essentially means that Australian kids got to realise their dreams.
Absolutely.
And chase their goals and train full time and do all the things that they need to do to be able to prove what they need to prove to get into the UFC. So I think, just in that sense of you giving back, and that was a long time before, that was a few years ago, so that was a long time before politics was on the radar. So, even sponsorship of like the Nong Thunder and things like that I've seen MarketPlace get involved in, and some of the things that we see here, Heart Kids and all that sort of stuff. I think it's important that people get behind businessmen and businesses in general that are giving back to the community. What do you see the council's role in the economic recovery that's going to come? How do you see the city of Greater Dandenong playing a part of that?
Yeah, I think there needs to be a realignment in a lot of people's mindset. I think there needs to be a mindset of hard work and taking pleasure in rebuilding and creating.
Now we're going to do something a little bit different, a bit more lighthearted.
Okay.
I'm going to ask you some questions. I'm going to give you two options.
Right.
You're not going to think about it. You're just going to shoot the first thing that comes into your mind.
Okay.
You'll have to excuse the noise. Steve's busy constructing something. He's always doing stuff. So, alrighty. Ready?
Ready.
Pizza or pasta?
Pizza.
Xbox or PlayStation?
Neither.
Dogs or cats?
Dogs.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Beach or snow?
Beach.
AFL team?
Collingwood.
Window or aisle?
Window.
Robert De Niro or Al Pacino?
Al Pacino.
Bad Boys 1, 2 or 3?
1.
Dinner with Mahatma Gandhi or Nelson Mandela?
Mahatma Gandhi.
Netflix or YouTube?
YouTube.
Clint Eastwood or Chuck Norris?
Clint Eastwood.
Fruits or vegetables?
Fruits.
Awesome. Thanks for joining us on this episode of the Business Hour, Steve.
Thanks,
and
Charles.
we wish you all the best. We'll drop some links down below on how people can get in touch and follow you. And hopefully, if you live in South Keysborough and you've got any issues, take it up with Steve, and he'll champion your voice.
No worries.
Thank you.
Charles.